tonight at 10, releasing inmates to protect them. That's what the St. Louis County Jail is doing as concerns over COVID-19 spreading continue. Plus, Wisconsin's primary is less than a week away, but whether or not polls will be open now or is now in the hands of a judge. And later, how one Ely couple's dream vacation turned into a nightmare. We're hearing from them as they remain quarantined on board a cruise ship still at sea.
From CBS3 Duluth, this is the CBS3 News at 10.
Good evening, I'm Kristen Bakke. Thanks for joining us. Anthony is on assignment. Growing concerns as 2 more inmates at the Moose Lake Prison have tested positive for COVID-19. This comes after we learned earlier this week that 1 inmate had tested positive for the virus. The first inmate confirmed to have the virus was tested last Wednesday after showing symptoms. It's still unclear when the inmate was booked into the prison or how they got the illness. According to officials, 6 patients in total have now been tested at that facility, which is now the only prison in Minnesota with confirmed cases. As a preventative measure, the St. Louis County Jail is sending some low-level inmates home. This comes at the wake of the coronavirus pandemic and is a way the county says will keep everyone involved in the jail system safe. CBS 3's John Cardinelli explains.
Who's in our custody, and do they really need to be there?
That is the question that St. Louis County probation officers, public defenders, prosecutors, and courts are asking in the wake of the coronavirus pandemic.
The philosophy or strategy on whether or not an individual needs to be in custody is, do they create a danger to themselves or others, or is there also a chance that they're not going to appear for their next court appearance?
Under that guideline, inmates from the St. Louis County Jail have been slowly released since mid-March, most of them awaiting trial. Lippman says the jail holds a maximum of 175 inmates, with 169 booked as of March 1st. But as of Wednesday, 110 inmates remained. Those released are being monitored by the probation officer or through electronic monitoring.
We'll do our best to, not only keep the inmates that are remanded to the sheriff's office custody safe and secure in the facility, but also all the law enforcement agencies that frequent and bring these detainees in. And equally, if not more importantly, make sure that we keep the staff that work in the facility safe and healthy as well.
Lippman says if or when the pandemic ends, inmates will stay released and not be rebooked to jail as long as they don't violate their release conditions.
I want to assure the public that, we're not jeopardizing public safety by just opening the doors to dangerous criminals, whether they be pretrial detainees or not. But more importantly, we're not releasing sentenced inmates. There's only one individual or one entity that can do that, and that's the courts, the judges themselves.
Sheriff Lippman also mentioned that for family and friends of inmates, social visits are no longer available. Inmates can now only call or text. Frustration from the Minnesota governor's office today about the ongoing lack of supplies for coronavirus testing. Department of Health Commissioner Jan Malcolm spoke out, saying repeated requests for supplies from the federal DHHS have received no response. She says other promised supplies have not shown up, and now the state is running out of what they need to both take and run the tests. And the supplies they've tried to buy themselves are back-ordered for a month.
So all of these really make the testing situation quite a bit more multi-layered and complex than what I think some of the messaging from our federal colleagues has been.
Malcolm says new, quicker testing strategies are being developed, but they're not ready yet. The governor's office has said it's impossible to get an accurate idea of the virus's spread in Minnesota until there is more testing. A federal judge is set to hear arguments on why he should postpone Wisconsin's presidential primary and other spring elections on Tuesday to give voters more time to file absentee ballots. As of today, the election will be held as scheduled next Tuesday, despite concerns about the coronavirus. Multiple groups, including the Democratic National Committee, have filed 3 federal lawsuits. They are seeking to postpone in-person voting until after Governor Tony Evers' stay-at-home order expires, allowing clerks to send absentee ballots to all registered voters and give clerks until June 2nd to count ballots. Meanwhile, Wisconsin's governor is deploying the National Guard to help staff polling sites for the state's presidential primary. Election clerks say poll workers are quitting in droves in fear of contracting coronavirus during Tuesday's election. More than 100 cities across the state say they don't have enough people to staff even one polling site. If the election does go on as planned on Tuesday, elected officials are encouraging everyone to vote absentee. The deadline to request an absentee ballot is 5 p.m. tomorrow. It must be received by your city clerk by April 7th, no later than 8 p.m. The City of Superior is also offering curbside voting at certain polling locations that will be open. The April 7th ballot features the presidential primary, Supreme Court race, and local elections. No word yet on how May 12th's special election to fill the 7th District congressional seat will be affected. And just a reminder, today is Census Day throughout the U.S. The day is used as a reference point to see how many Americans have already taken the census. Both Minnesota and Wisconsin are two of the highest responding states so far. Officials say COVID-19 has caused some delays. This includes pushing back the completion deadline to August 14th. You can head to our website for more information on how to complete the census. Dave's here for a look at the weather. Dave, April 1st, I want to say already, but March felt like a long month.
You know, it really, really did. And it came in like a lamb and left like a lion cub, as Tony and I were joking the other day, because, you know, that last weekend storm, it brought a little bit of snow.
Yeah.
Wasn't a true blizzard, but it slipped things up just a little bit. Now a new low pressure system's on our doorstep, and we'll go through a wet period again. I don't think we're going to get as much snow this time around, but some snow indeed could mix in along with the rain from this latest low pressure system that's crossing the border into Minnesota right now. We take a look at our day planner for Thursday, and during the day there's a 60% chance in the morning for a mix. And it should become warm enough for just straight up rain by lunchtime. 70% chance for rain as you come back home in the evening, again, as I like to say, or don't like to say, if you got any place to go. We do still, and good luck to everybody out there, but it should rain, and then tomorrow night into Friday morning, might turn into a little bit of snow, especially northwest of Duluth. Will it stick? I'll show you a chart coming up in a few more minutes.
Thanks, Dave. A Northland couple's adventure of a lifetime has turned into a tragic nightmare. Ely natives Valerie Minty and her husband, Frank Sherman, boarded a cruise ship 25 days ago for a South American excursion. That trip quickly went off course as the couple is now confined to their rooms, unable to come home as the coronavirus impacts hundreds on board. CBS 3's Jesse Slater heard from the couple today and how they're holding up while stranded at sea.
An Ely couple, faced with a tough decision on whether or not to travel abroad, turned to experts for guidance.
We checked with CDC, we checked with the State Department. There were absolutely no advisories whatsoever regarding South America.
Ultimately, the couple made the call. They were going to South America.
We made a miscalculation, and we got on that plane and went to Buenos Aires.
After nearly 2 weeks exploring Argentina, Valerie Minty and Frank Sherman boarded the Zaandam cruise ship.
Lovely people, great meals, wonderful entertainment.
Little did they know, just a week later, their dream vacation would turn into their worst nightmare.
At that point, the cruise then was suspended.
Ports across the world began closing to passenger ships in order to prevent the spread of the COVID-19 virus.
The captain started to negotiate about supplies.
During this time, the couple carried on as usual with onboard activities for about another week.
It is the first time that people started coming to the infirmary complaining of respiratory distress.
Due to serious health concerns, 1,200 passengers were confined to their rooms. That includes Valerie and Frank, who are showing mild symptoms of the novel virus.
I'm a tough Finn from the Iron Range, and I can survive this. We can survive this.
Minty is pleading with lawmakers to find a way to provide everyone on board assistance.
There has to be a creative solution that's brave and compassionate to render assistance to the Zaandam.
4 lives have already been lost on board due to the virus. Minty hopes someone will step in before the trip turns any more disastrous.
It was a wonderful, wonderful adventure that has become a tragic chapter in our lives, for sure.
The ship is now heading toward Fort Lauderdale, Florida, where crews hope they will be able to dock and figure out a plan. One more note we should mention, Valerie wants to let her 96-year-old father, Don Minty, who is at an assisted living facility here in Duluth, know she is doing okay and she will visit him when it is deemed safe. Well, meanwhile, the Red Cross is asking anyone who can to share their health. The organization has had to cancel more than 12,000 blood drives nationwide due to coronavirus. Now they're asking people who are healthy to donate because hospitals still need a steady supply. Organizers say blood drives are working hard to protect donors, including temperature checks and sanitizing workspaces, so it is safe to donate. Still to come, with distance learning the new normal, it can be difficult for students who need some extra attention to find their way. We'll tell you how one Minnesota teacher is hoping to help.
62 degrees is the record high temp for this time of year from 2010. Won't happen tomorrow, but all in due time. We just might crack that threshold. Not this week, but perhaps next, and we'll talk about it. And these rain chances coming up next.
Hi, John with Prime Appliance here. Our big 6% instant rebate sale is back. For April 15th, take another 6% off our entire in-stock on-sale selection. We're stocked up on these one-of-a-kind LG washer-dryer combos, now just $9.39 after the 6% rebate. Save a whopping $5.38 on this Whirlpool bottom-mount refrigerator, now just $10.61 after rebate. Financing always available. Take it home today or get delivery from the pro. Prime Appliance in Superior, the best place to buy your appliances.
Essentia Health is offering an assessment for COVID-19 at no cost. If you are feeling ill, please stay home and begin an e-visit at essentiahealth.org/COVID-19.
The truth about the coronavirus pandemic.
We've got a team of correspondents covering all of this.
CBS News, a place for information, making sense of it all.
We'll have the latest information about what you need to know to protect yourself and your family.
Coronavirus, the race to respond. Continuing coverage on CBS and the free CBS News app.
I want people to tune in, and I want them to see a friend, because I'm a mother and I know how hard it could be. You're doing all these things and then you have the child and then no one talks to you about how lonely it can be. You know, who do you lean to? Who do you connect with? This segment is very important to me because I get to work, but I also get to work on my passion.
Catch Eye on Parenting every Thursday at 6 with Leanne Valdez on CBS3.
Vaping has been declared a national epidemic among youth. 1 in 3 high schoolers vape in northeastern Minnesota.
My child started having seizures from vaping. There's still so many unknown chemicals.
One vape cartridge has as much nicotine as at least 2 packs of cigarettes.
My child was hospitalized with severe lung injuries.
They said it was no big deal.
My child said it was no risk.
That it was under control.
That's what my child said. But what could I have said? Get the facts and talk to your child today.
Hi, Minnesota. Governor Tim Walz here. We're in an unprecedented situation in our fight against COVID-19. Please note that the state of Minnesota and our private sector partners are doing everything we can to keep you safe, but we need your help. Minnesotans, stay home. Let's flatten the curve on COVID. Let's make sure that we keep our family, our friends, and our neighbors safe. And if you need more information, please go to the Minnesota Department of Health website. Together, Minnesotans will defeat this and come out better on the other side. Thank you.
CBS3 Weather is brought to you by Lulich Implement.
Now, the CBS3 Duluth Weather Max forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
So if 62 degrees is the record high for today, anybody get close? Well, down towards Siren, 56, 55 in Hayward. That's fairly close as well, but it was cooler by the lake yet again here today. Big old ice cube known as Lake Superior. Even though it didn't ice over very much, the water's still pretty chilly. So 30s in the Arrowhead of Minnesota, 30s along the South Shore as well. And as far as temperatures go, this is a trend we're going to follow again tomorrow and maybe through part of the weekend. But the latter half of the weekend and next week, even at the head of the lakes, we might crack 50, which means inland 60 could indeed be doable. Something for us to hope for during this semi-dark time. And the sky above Duluth right now, of course, is dark, and the temperature is 32, and the sky still threatening to increase cloud-wise, and we see the clouds wafting in up above here. If your town hasn't seen them yet, after midnight you should. And that sets us up then tomorrow for a rain-snow mix chance. Rain showers in the afternoon, overnight another mix, and then into Friday, straight up rain. That could add up a bit. We'll talk about totals in a little bit. Right now we look at the wind. It's easterly at 15 miles per hour. Kind of hard to see, you know, air is invisible, but if you watch a tree bend over, then you can see the wind. Relative humidity is 82%, and current temperatures, if you look at a thermometer, you can see them as well. 36 International Falls, 35 Hibbing right now, 34 Superior, a little bit cooler Moose Lake, and also a little bit cooler towards Silver Bay. Into Wisconsin, Hayward's at 37, 30 for Ashland though, and 32 to 34 in the Upper Peninsula. Low temps tonight, if the clouds do indeed thicken as planned, that'll hamper the lowering of the temperatures, and they should stay in the 20s for a lot of our places. All right, Doppler map right now shows that cloud cover and rain is creeping in from the west, fairly slowly, but it is coming. And in fact, to the west, from Bemidji farther west, winter storm watch for folks there as this low pressure system comes to call. And in our area, tomorrow, 60, 70, 80% chance for rain, and overnight when it gets cooler, could shift over to a rain and snow mix. And so by Friday night, when this low pressure system leaves, in its wake, we could see a little bit of snow sticking to the ground here. North of Duluth, an inch or two, maybe even 3 from the Laurentian Divide up towards the Canadian border. And then once you get to the Twin Ports, a little bit under an inch, and into Wisconsin, really just a trace. And places like Phillips may not get anything at all. Come Saturday, what we're going to get is high pressure replacing the low. Sunshine for a day, because as early as next Sunday, back towards the rainy side with a fresh low pressure system. Now tonight in Minnesota, your low temps, they are going to go into the 20s in some places and even lower 30s. So getting kind of mild there. Warming up actually in places like Wisconsin, where 20s are vaguely possible by Hayward, but 30s the rest of the region. Tomorrow, daytime highs, Wisconsin, Michigan could go anywhere from 46 to 55 with a 50% chance for the mix. 50 to 70% chance in Minnesota with highs from 43 to 50. Cooler by the lake though. And now with the extended forecast here, Kristen, so it's a little gray, it's a little gloomy, it's a little wet all the way through Friday. Then Saturday gets sunshine, pretty nice day. Not overly warm, though, not bad, but not overly warm. Then it gets cloudier Sunday through next Wednesday. But along with the clouds, the temps bump up. And even Duluth could run 50 to 55 from Monday into Wednesday.
Thanks, Dave. Most Minnesota schools are just 3 days into distance learning. There are challenges for all students, teachers, and parents, but special needs students and their teachers may face the biggest challenge. John Lauritsen shows us how families and educators are adapting.
She joined our family 2 years ago via adoption from Central America.
Heather Corley's 14-year-old daughter, Graydon, is a middle schooler in District 196. Graydon works with a special education teacher at the school. Now it's up to Heather to take over that role, all while helping the family's 7 other children.
She was used to a routine, you know, where you go to this class and then, you know, you're in this subject and you're on to that subject. It's been a little challenging, I guess, just figuring out the levels and truly taking the information the teachers tried to send home to us.
Special education teachers are trying to figure out what works best, too.
Some parents that I've talked to are struggling with just how to get their kids to do the work.
Catherine Hibbs is a teacher in the Robbinsdale School District. She works with 4th and 5th graders who have autism, ADHD, and learning disabilities. She's made specific home lesson plans for 16 students. Virtual learning can help, but without one-on-one time, it's harder to know what's working and what isn't.
I'm constantly changing things and modifying it based on student need, but now it's just finding that need is a little harder, and I have to do a lot more communication with families.
Whether the need is math or reading or just support during a time of adjustment, school psychologists find themselves in a unique place. Troy Dvorak, a psychologist in the Osseo School District, says families shouldn't get discouraged.
Communication at this point is a big thing, and once we get through these first few days and seeing who we are able to be successful with communication with, then I think that'll help shape what we're able to deliver and how we're able to support them.
Still to come, working from home with your significant other. That's reality for many, but that doesn't mean it's easy. We have some tips after the break.
CBS3 live cams are brought to you by Kohler Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac. You're not just getting a car, you're getting Kohler.
Our shower was like 20 years old and it was just in the worst condition. We had a new shower put in and it was acrylic and there's hardly any cleaning compared to the other one. We decided to call Bath Planet and Wayne did contact us and he made sure that it was a good time for us.
He came here at 8 o'clock in the morning. Job was done by 4 o'clock.
I'm so glad that we chose Bath Planet.
For a free estimate, call Bath Planet today at 218-228-0435.
Everything in our garage is inspired by our racing spirit. Race in for a great deal on the Honda CR-V or HR-V. Only at the Honda Dream Garage Spring Event.
Stop by your local Super One Liquor for all your party and gathering needs. With locations throughout the Northland and northern Wisconsin, Super One Liquor has a commitment to delivering outstanding service, variety, and top quality wines and spirits. And don't forget the massive variety of ice cold beer and beverages, all at the low prices you've grown to expect. Visit superoneliquor.com anytime to view our weekly ads and in-store specials.
So stop by your local Super One Liquor store. Come for the service. Leave with the savings.
Watch Anthony Matt weekdays at 6 and 10 p.m. on live local CBS3 Duluth.
Tony's start in the industry was in reporting and storytelling, and so to have those skills each night really adds value.
They're saying a Duluthian would need to work 90 hours to afford rent.
He went right from a reporter where he was covering everything in the Northland, and he went right to the desk. He really does know what he's talking about.
Get to know Anthony Matt weekday nights on CBS3.
Sports are my passion and the love of my life. And when you watch a sportscast, the biggest compliment that I get is that you seem so excited about what you're talking about. And that's not an act for me. Who doesn't want to see someone, deliver their news in a fun way? So if you love it, I love it, you're gonna see the authenticity that I think I bring to CBS3 Sports.
Watch sports with Kelly Hinseth on CBS3.
Northwest Outlet is closed temporarily due to state regulation. Stay safe, everyone.
When severe weather hits, tune to CBS3.
Tonight at 10, we'll be out here in the storm.
For up-to-date coverage morning and night.
Stay away from here.
Live local weather coverage on CBS3 Duluth. Get your news on the go, the CBS3 mobile app.
We're now closing in on 1 week since Minnesota's governor issued a stay-at-home order for people in the state. That means a lot of folks are working at home with their significant others. CBS3's Leanne Valdez explains the best practices for staying productive and positive during that time.
I've been hearing from a lot of people it's certainly not easy or what they had imagined being cooped up with their significant other 24 hours a day.
Katie Erickson, psychotherapist at Duluth Counseling Center, says she knows some couples are having a difficult time.
I'm sure there's some that are struggling now, having never spent this amount of time with their significant other.
Working long hours side by side your partner during a pandemic isn't ideal and worries some.
So there's no manual that came with this situation that came on very suddenly.
But there are some things you can do to help ease the uncertainty and stress level in the home. Number one, keeping a routine is vital.
Routines and getting up is getting dressed if you're going to work and pretending having lunch and pretending your day is as normal as what it used to look like.
Number two, distance and having a designated workplace is very important.
really making it clear, like, this room is my room, this room is my room for my office, this is where the kids do school if there's children.
Lastly, she says multitasking may not be the solution to everything.
Yeah, I think that, multitasking we know doesn't work for anybody, even if we think we'd do better multitasking.
Save those non-work conversations until after you've clocked out to have full focus. Though it's too early to tell if divorce rates have or will go up after this simmers down.
I can only imagine the increase. We haven't seen it yet, but that's not abnormal in that we'll see it when it's over.
Erickson says it may bring some couples closer than ever.
Sometimes that makes people closer when you go through an epidemic like this. I know that there was one of the highest birth rates after 9/11.
Coming up, Kelly Hinseth is in with sports and some ideas from a local Duluthian on how you can get outside and get active. That's coming up next.
Watch Anthony Matt weekdays at 6 and 10 p.m. on live local CBS 3 Duluth.
Your water softener needs salt. You buy it, lug it, pour it, over and over. Save salt and the hassle with a Culligan high-efficiency water softener, the world's best. Click or call Culligan Water and start saving today.
Coming together makes us stronger. And Ford is built to lend a hand, especially now, with 6-month payment relief. Buy a new Ford. We'll defer 3 payments and make 3 payments for peace of mind up to 6 months. Shop at Ford.com or contact your Ford dealer to find out more about home delivery and other vehicle service options. You have a lot to take care of. Let us help take care of
you. You might not be into the latest bands that teens love, but Big Tobacco is. And they're blending right in. Big Tobacco spends at least $100 million a year on marketing in Minnesota, sponsoring shows, butting in on social media conversations, and giving away free concert tickets. All to reach and hook kids while you're not looking. Learn more at missingitmn.org.
My part-time service in the Army National Guard allows me to keep my community and those I care about safe from threats. Learn more about how you too can live and serve part-time close to home by visiting nationalguard.com.
Hi, Minnesota. Governor Tim Walz here. During this unprecedented battle against the COVID-19 virus, I want to say how grateful I am for Minnesota's willingness to help one another. I also want to make sure that I say, continue to watch your local news stations. Local news and local newspapers are putting out facts and not fear, and that's what it's going to take to get through this together. If you need more information, please go to the Minnesota Department of Health website. Together, Minnesotans will defeat this and come out better on the other side. Thank you.
To those who are on the road and keep our warehouses and stores stocked, those cooking the takeout orders and who help us in the store, those who keep things clean, and those who answer the call and keep us safe. We know these are trying times for everyone. So thank you. We're all in this together and appreciate your dedication.
I don't believe there's another meteorologist in this area who has the experience and years that Dave has. His experience, that's something that's really special to CBS3.
He worked his way up from janitor up to a weather guy.
He's just like this bastion of knowledge.
Get to know Dave Anderson weekday nights on live local CBS3.
Welcome back into sports. From quarantine, I am in the comfort of my own home so that we can maximize social distancing at CBS3. Kristen, I miss you. I'm just going to say that in every sportscast because I do. I also miss sports, as I'm sure a lot of you do out there, whether a big sports fan or a small sports fan. It's been about 3 weeks since we've been in this environment of not having sports in our world. We've seen so many things get canceled, from the Olympics to March Madness to the NCAA college hockey tournament. And unfortunately, today, another worldwide huge event fell victim to the COVID-19 pandemic. Wimbledon has officially been canceled due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The All England Club made the announcement on the official tournament website earlier today, canceling the Grand Slam tennis event for the first time since World War II. Originally scheduled to take place at the end of this June in London, organizers will not try to replay the tournament in 2020, instead saying the 134th edition of the tournament will take place in the summer of 2021. It is the first of the major tennis championships to be canceled due to the coronavirus. Played since 1877, only the 2 world wars and now the coronavirus pandemic have kept the annual tennis championship from being played. And on that same day that Wimbledon was canceled, Major League Baseball has now canceled the 2020 London series. The game between the Cubs and the Cardinals was scheduled for June 13th and 14th, but won't happen because of the pandemic. The inaugural London series took place last season between the Yankees and the Red Sox. Before today's announcement, the league had already canceled games scheduled in Mexico City and Puerto Rico. Opening day was originally scheduled for March 26th and has been pushed back to mid-May at the earliest. Switching gears a bit, if you are getting a little stir-crazy here in the current situation we're in, DuluthAdventures.com may have a solution for you. Mike Ward, the creator of Duluth Adventures, started this website last year as a way to share different routes and outdoor activities in Duluth. The website offers a map and details on different routes, including biking, hiking, canoeing, and trail running, and combines them into challenges and routes. It also offers people's perspective and experience on a collective message board.
I did a few of these kind of solo adventures and thought it might be a fun idea to open it up to the world and see if other people have done adventures like that, and kind of just a way to build a community around I think just the awesome options that we have to do stuff like this here in Duluth.
Do you have any? Okay. Even if you're not into canoeing or biking or running, hopefully you can find some time during this situation that we're in to get outside. I know that has helped me a lot. That's going to do it for sports. Stay happy, stay healthy out there. We're going to be right back after this.
CBS3 closed captioning is brought to you by Essentia Health. Choose to make a healthy difference in people's lives and join our team. Visit EssentiaCareers.org.
Take control of your time by signing up for Minnesota Power's My Account to get instant access, free online payments, track energy use, and more. Tap, pay, done. Register today at mnpower.com. Minnesota Power, we're moving energy forward.
Kristen Vaki, as a fellow Iron Ranger, brings a calmness to our team. She's unflappable.
Kristen Vaki is one of the most respected anchors in this market.
I think her passion for journalism runs really deep in her.
Kristen is the real deal, a pleasure to work with, and you can always count on her.
Get to know Kristen Vaki, weeknights on Live Local CBS3.
I want people to tune in, and I want them to see a friend, because I'm a mother and I know how hard it can be. You're doing all these things and then you have the child and then no one talks to you about how lonely it can be. You know, who do you lean to? Who do you connect with? This segment is very important to me because I get to work, but I also get to work on my passion.
Catch Eye on Parenting every Thursday at 6 with Leanne Valdez on CBS3.
Sports are my passion and the love of my life. And when you watch a sportscast, the biggest compliment that I get is that you seem so excited about what you're talking about. And that's not an act for me. Who doesn't want to see someone, you know, deliver their news in a fun way? So if you love it, I love it, you're going to see the authenticity that I think I bring to CBS3 Sports.
Watch sports with Kelly Hinseth on CBS3.
Mariah Haberman here from Discover Wisconsin. Join me and the rest of the DW crew every week on this station for all things Wisconsin. Continue the adventure on social media and discoverwisconsin.com for behind-the-scenes content and great Wisconsin giveaways, including a chance to win a free vacation. This week's featured prize package could take you to Sparta. Just visit discoverwisconsin.com for details.
Minnesota Power's mobile app puts the power at your fingertips and lets you take My Account with you wherever you go. Pay your bill, make account changes, track your energy use, and get power outage information anytime, anywhere. Minnesota Power, we're moving energy forward.
Men's wardrobe provided by Mainstream Fashions for Men. Our buy one, get one for a buck suit and sport coat sale is now in progress. Hundreds of options. Mainstream, downtown Duluth.
All right, Dave's here for a final look at the weather. Dave, we're going to be seeing some rain coming up in the next day or so?
You know, I'm putting my final touches on tweaking the extended forecaster, so let's find out if things have changed since the last time we spoke. All right, let's take a look here. Well, Friday's temperature has dialed down in the last update here, so we're going to hit 42, I think, on Thursday with a 50% chance for rain, 80% chance for rain on Friday with a high temp now of only 40. But then by Sunday, I think we might at least cross 50 by a degree, by the skin of our teeth, and stay that way through Wednesday. Sunshine Saturday, something to look forward to.
All right. Might be a little bit rainy, but still warm.
Yeah.
That's all right with me. Thanks, Dave. Well, thanks for joining us tonight.